Steve Bearteach first to the chat today on Monday. Quickly followed by Zip Gun, Alana Suki, Janice Lundberg, Joel G, Pipex, Kiwi Mamo, Alyssa Bentley, Brian P, Patrick Paulson, Mirdul Singh, James K, Richard Goer. I don't know how to say your last name. I'm very sorry about that. Goer? I think it's Goer. The Zen Ginger, Akira. Oh, Akira. Oh, Akira. What's up? Lexi V, Krager's Fish, and anybody else that I missed. I don't know if I missed anybody else. We're off to a pretty Monday kind of start out here. What's up, guys? It's 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, May 24, 2021. What's up? Hopefully everybody's doing well out there in the world because it's Monday. It's very exciting. It's a very exciting kind of Monday out there. We all got to sometimes sit back and think about what's the deal. What's the deal with Mondays, dude? What's the deal with Monday? Monday's cool. We all like Monday. Monday's fantastic. And yes, we shall do some personal quick updates here real quick. Cha-cha-cha. Minecraft server is operating fine, and we're getting closer and closer to releasing to the public. So if you want to get on there quick and get something going, I would do it now. Second part, the giant remodel of the kitchen here is ongoing. The remodel of the kitchen, we've made monumental progress. There's paint, there's cabinets, there's a stove, there's no floor yet, blah, 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 blah. We made a ton of progress. The whole house has been replumbed by yours truly. All new PEX piping run throughout the building. Electrical is all done, except for some lights just need to be wired in. And whatnot. New window outside, built the wall for it. The sink in the mudroom is done. La 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 la. There's just so much going on. It's kookaloo, but gotta tell you guys, we made a ton of progress over 2 weeks. We still got a couple more weeks of stuff, but Vicky and I have to go back to work. So we're going back to work. Hence the Monday streams have returned triumphant. We're back after a 2-week vacation that we worked. I worked 7 days a week the whole time. But a lot of things are done. A lot of things are moving forward. For you guys, that means we're one step closer back to getting me into video production mode so I can start making videos again. Gets us one step closer to building a new fish room, which may happen someday. It may not. I'm not 100% sure at this point, considering the cost of lumber. I don't know if people in your neck of the woods have been talking about the cost of lumber, but it is absurd right about now. I know that they've been talking about it on the news. The very interesting part is supply is not down. Demand exists. And the price is just mysteriously up. And they're saying it's because of the pandemic. But it's pretty clear that's hard to account for when the supply exists, production exists, but yet the back-end prices are 6,000% of whatever, or whatever the number is, 600% of whatever they were previously. Very interesting. It's a very weird thing. So we shall see if the new fish room can happen or not, because lumber prices being so outrageous, that means that the steel building I was going to build, those prices have artificially gone up because people started buying those as an alternative. And that's not my alternative. That is my desired choice. I would like to be able to put up a steel building there and build the fish room out of that, as opposed to a different structure choice like traditional stick frame lumber build. So that's our plan here, and we shall see what happens. I'm also kind of waiting on whether or not the city will approve. The county. It's the county. I keep saying city. It's not the city. It's the county. Whether or not the county will approve me relocating the current building where we're at right now, because there may or may not be them saying that they want to put the building in the same spot where it is. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, because we have a excuse me. What I want to do is build the other building next to where my shop is, then tear down my current shop. Does that make sense? Because I could literally build the other building, have it done, move everything into it, and then just bulldoze over the other shop. That's the really nice way of putting it. We'll have to disassemble it because of the power pole that's right next to it. There's a power pole right there, so we won't be able to crush it with giant machinery, but we will be able to knock it down pretty rapidly and then haul it away with the excavator. But you know what I'm talking about. That's all the ins and outs that don't matter right now. But either way, that's what's going on in my neck of the woods. It's all encompassing. I'm surrounded. I'm shrouded. I'm encompassed by construction projects. You know what I mean? It's just it's all encompassing. Now, if you guys are on the Discord, I have been posting image updates onto the Discord into the project corner, keeping people up to date with what's going on with the little remodel here, or the big construction project that we're doing. Things are coming along. We took a lot of it down to the studs. Not all of it, but we definitely got a lot out. We demoed a bunch. We built a bunch of stuff. But I'm just happy to say that the plumbing's been all redone. Electrical is solid. The walls are good. We've got paint on the walls. We've got sinks where they need to go. We've got a lot of stuff going on. I installed the gas range today. And today we got the countertop. The countertop people, they will not start construction on a countertop until they have their specific. They have a 3D mapping machine that come in and do CAD drawings of your countertop. They won't do that off of anybody's drawings. They are legit like, nope. Once you have the construction in, then we'll come in there and scan the room. Like, you would think it was like a group of robots, if you will, but they want everything in place before they even start cutting in and making your countertops for you. So those are, I want to say 2 weeks from now. Is it 2 weeks from now? Let me see here. Hold on a second. Yeah, basically 2 weeks from today, they will install the countertops. Our flooring, they're shipping it from the moon. I'm considering that they're shipping our flooring from the moon. I think it's coming from, the what is it? The Sea of Tranquility, like where they do that flooring manufacturing is actually on the moon, and it takes a long time to get here. So big delay on the flooring because it is supposedly being shipped somewhere. Who knows? Maybe it's on a boat. Maybe it's on an airplane. Maybe it's on a spaceship, like I mentioned before. Who knows? So we're waiting on the flooring, and we'll see when that shows up. It's supposed to be here. Let me see. Let me peruse the calendar. I believe week and a half from today. So we will have our subfloor situation for at least the next week and a half. Aquatic Jack is asking, is it granite? Absolutely not. I hate granite countertops. I think that I just hate them. I just don't like them. Whether they're good or bad, that's your call. Whether they're good or bad is up to you. to me, I'm like, ugh, I just don't like them. You know what I mean? It's like when somebody says, I don't want to eat that food, I don't like it. It's literally just one of those things. I'm like, no, don't like that granite countertop. Yuck, 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 yuck. So what we're actually getting is it's a quartz material countertop that actually gets made. It's like fabricated to what we want. So it will be a very nice install. It'll be, we'll love it. And I like quartz countertops personally better than rough cuts. Any kind of stone that's just cut like that, I just don't like it. I mean, I'm kind of one of those people that likes the character of a rock. You know what I mean? Like if a rock has some serious shape to it, you know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, when you could sit down and take a look at a rock and its nice shapes and its little bumps and curves and jagged parts and all that kind of good stuff. I like that. And when they cut them down flat and turn them into a countertop, I'm like, ugh. But I do like flat stone cut in other applications. So like a walkway, like that. Really cool if you can have like a crisp, perfectly clean, what is that, black granite or basalt walkway, that kind of stuff. I love that stuff, but I don't like it as countertops. I just don't dig it, you know what I mean? So just not my thing. But we're going with the quartz. It's a real dark color quartz countertop. It's like charcoal, not charcoal, let's say graphite. It's a lot like the color of graphite. So looks really good. I think it'll be great, once it goes in. Flooring comes in a submarine. Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you. Is it Submariners that deliver the flooring? That must be it. Must be those underwater fans bringing it. Enthusiasts, submariner enthusiasts. Steve Bearteach says, why demolish the older structure instead of keeping the storage space? Just curious. I don't want the old structure. Oh, the old building, the old shop building. The old shop building's got to go. It's got to go. I might just push it over tomorrow. I mean, who knows? But as far as keeping more storage space, so the shop that I want to build, like currently my really cramped shop that I have right now, is, I'm trying to remember the exact square footage. It's a basic 2-car garage, but it's not appropriately proportioned like a 2-car garage. So it's a little long and it's a little skinny, and it's a weird building. It was initially built as like a garage that you would keep a Model T in or whatever. You got to think. Our garage was made in 1924. So what cars existed in 1924? Let's see here. Cars of 1924. Cars of 1924. Let's see here. There were some, the Model A Deluxe wasn't available until 1920. The 1920 Rolls Phantom. Oh, that's kind of a big car, right? There was some Studebakers, but those are all later 20s. So we got to think like early 20s. For most of the 20s, Henry Ford's Model T dominated the sales charts. From 1920 through 1926, the Model T accounted for 40% of new car sales. So you got to think like when the garage was built here in 1926, it was like, oh, maybe you'll stick a Model T in there, or your horse, right? Or your horse. So that's what it was built for. It was sized for, and then they added on to it to make it twice the length. So I believe altogether, I think it's maybe 500 square feet. I think maybe 500 square feet. I don't necessarily quote me on that. I would have to go out there and put a tape down and actually get the actual square footage for you. But let's just say it's 500 square feet. The building that we want to put in, whether or not they're going to approve it, is the question. I want to put in a 1,200 square foot building, likely via the perusal of the building codes in my area here. I think I'm going to be limited to 960 square feet, which that still would be fine because it would be doubling. It would be essentially doubling the amount of space I have right now. Plus, I have no overhead. Like, the overhead space I have is maybe 3.5 feet high, like up in the upper area, which the building I want to put in will have like a big storage area up there for just goofy crap that you just need to keep for whatever reason, like an inflatable raft or something that's weird. Put stuff in the overhead up there, and then would be able to keep that. And as far as the old building goes, like, there's just really there's no real reason to preserve it, right? It's not a historical item. There's nothing fancy schmancy about it. There's nothing fancy schmancy about it, and there's really no reason to keep it. It was just really poorly constructed. There's just nothing about it. I mean, I've had to pour a ton of cement just to keep the thing up, add a ton of wood to it to keep the thing up, and it's just kind of a waste of time at this point to just keep putting money into it, and I really don't want to keep putting money into it. I want to not put money into that building. I don't. It's just, we did what we did because we had a real shoestring budget at the time. I think when I did the fish room remodel, I think we had about $2,000 maybe. I think we maybe had $2,000. So it was basically like, I was like going cheap with the amount of cement that I had. That's how bad, that's how tight our budget was to like not spend a bunch of money. We spent most of it on lumber to frame it out, to build it out properly. I had to do a ton of demolition. I had to do all this stuff. I did all the work myself. I actually hired a buddy of mine to come help for a day or two to help me do wiring and stuff like that, because I don't know if people remember, I cut my thumb off cleaning up the shop to build out the current fish room that I have right now. So I don't know if you guys remember that. I wonder if I have pictures of that. I should post some pictures of that. It was pretty disgusting. And yeah. That happened. It was a thing. It was a thing that happened. And during that, so I remember I hired a buddy for like cash, just to come labor with me to get things done. But most of the money was spent on lumber, drywall, some concrete. But that was basically it. I mean, a box of nails and salvaging whatever I could to build out that fish room, insulation, mud, that kind of stuff. And that was just like, kind of the reality of what we were working with at the time. We spent all of our money on buying the property. When I ran power and water out to that building out there, I actually, the wire I used to all right, here's a quick personal story. I needed wire to run from my house all the way out to what is the garage now, right? Well, as you guys know, when you run electricity a couple hundred feet, which I basically had to do, you need to have like a big heavy gauge wire. I didn't really have money to spend $300 on wire. We had bought a spool of wire, and it turns out it was not long enough. It may or may not have been the appropriate amount, but once you have unspooled that wire, they aren't going to take it back. You know what I'm saying? If it's not in the packaging anymore, they're like, you cut it shorter. So I'm not I to this day, I still don't know what the hell happened with that, but the wire was too short, blah, 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 blah. And actually, at the time, my mother was like, this is right around my birthday, and my mom was like, well, hey, if there's something that you want for your birthday, let me know. And I said, hey, I need this wire because I got to run the wire out to the shop so I can supply good power out there. And so for my birthday, my mom bought me wire so I could run power to my shop. So my birthday present that year was a spool of wire. Like, here you go, Chief. And I dug the hole myself. I remember I did a time lapse of it. And some people were like, "Oh my God, you actually dug that hole all by yourself?" And yep, dug it to code. Went down. I don't know. I'd have to go double check, but I think I went down to 44 inches so that I could pack sand. Set the line at 36 deep. I put everything inside 2-inch PVC. The gray type. So everything was in ground the way that it's supposed to be. Packed it with sand, packed it with tape. Then I put the water line 20 inches above that, or whatever the number was at the time. Maybe it's 16 inches. I'm not sure. But anyhow, I ran all that stuff, did it all to code. Followed it all, got it checked off, that kind of stuff. But that's the thing. When we were working on that building, we really just had a shoestring budget of like, look, we could probably afford like $2,000. That's what we're gonna do. And, that's what we had to do. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and it has been great. It has been a fantastic little space for me to work in for the time that for the time that I've been working in it. It's fantastic, and it's still fantastic now. But the reality is, like, I need a bigger building to work out of. Like, I don't really have wood shop space right now to build all the stuff that I need. I have a lot of wood projects that doesn't really matter to you guys, but there's a lot of wood projects I'm working on where I'm just super cramped. I just don't have the space for it. So we're going to see if hopefully we can build that building and do a bigger fish room that is more isolated. Raheem Bynum has been asking a lot of questions in the chat, so let's run through them real quickly here. The initial question, I believe, was about Crinum calamastratum. I know Corey has kept Crinum. Have you ever tried calamastratum natans, or I can never say this right, Theanum? I don't know how to say that correctly. I have calamastratum and I have natans. I have some videos about them. I think I have a Crinum calamastratum video. I think I want to say that I have some Crinum videos. Might have to check them out. He says they seem to be my only plants that are goldfish proof. I would say that they're pretty goldfish proof. They're one of the plants I would recommend for goldfish. You want either a plant that will outgrow or outcompete goldfish, or ones that are just generally like unsatisfying for them to nibble on. But yeah. Oh yeah, there's the follow-up. Theanum, I don't know how to say it right, is growing at 6 inches a day. Anyone else is keeping Oscars or large cichlids to hunt them down. Yeah, I just never have been able to find a version of that I could get my hands on. Yeah. Most of this hobby doesn't understand plants well at all. As a gardener turned fish keeper, I hope to change that. Yeah, I mean, that's why I have like 1,000 videos talking about plants and stuff. Like, I hope to promote aquatic plants as best I can. I feel like I haven't necessarily done that very well, and I currently am not posting a whole lot of, if at all, produced videos because of that. I'm redoing my whole workflow. I'm just changing everything that I'm doing as far as like video production, and it's taking longer than I had anticipated as far as a break goes. For a multitude of reasons, battling depression, dealing with, a pandemic nonsense has been just wild. And then just being excruciatingly busy on top of it has just sort of put me in this weird space of like, okay, I work on it and then I don't like it and then I throw it away and then I start over and I work on it, and things are definitely progressing. I'm almost, I realistically feel like I'm at the point where I'll have some more edited content fairly soon, because I'm like, it's kind of starting to hit the mark as far as the produced crap I've been making, and I think it's kind of getting there. But we'll see how it works out. You never really know. But the reason that I've been able to work on this stuff is because of the people down in the corner right here. the members and patrons, the members of my community that support this channel. And I want to give a shout out to some new patrons, which I thought I had that page open. As soon as I click on it, that's not the page that I thought was open. I need to push this button over here. There we go. Now it's loaded. Lady Guinevere, thank you very much for upping your patronage. That is wildly appreciated. Thank you. BCFR Aquatics became a member, a brand new member, a brand new yearly member. Look at that. Justin Campbell became a brand new member, and Andy Rampage became a brand new member. Thank you very much, you guys. And thank you very much to everybody else, like Glenn. Glenn Tookshire, been going through some hard times work-wise, but still a patron. Thank you very much, and I 100% appreciate it. That reminds me, we got to look at our numbers here, because our patronizers have gone up to 182, which means somebody must have left, because we have 2 new patrons, but we only went up by 1. What's going on here? But we also do have to give a shout out to all of our members on YouTube, because that is a thing that exists, and I thought I had that page open, and it turns out I don't. So, bear with me. Am I prepared for the membership stuff? I don't know. But Clint McLaughlin became a member again, re-upped. Re-upped the action, definitely. And It's Natureman, re-upped. And Big Red, re-upped. Thank you very much, guys. 100% appreciate that. What's interesting about that is that we went up to 82. So we're up to 82 members and 182. We got 82, 182. So we need 100 new YouTube members so that they would be balanced here. We got like a little, it's off by 100. But that's, but that's how it is. Let me get my control panel open here again. And where did my chat go? My chat always pops around and goes behind stuff. But thank you very much for everybody supporting what's going on around here. I did post a meme onto the Discord earlier today. That totally cracked me up. It's a meme talking about how in the past I wish rich people went back to keeping artists as pets. Like when you're wealthy enough, you pick a cool weirdo to do regular commissions for you, and if you really want to flex on your peers, you've got several. And I was thinking about that. It goes on from there, but I can't read the rest. It's kind of crass. So, we're going to get demonetized, guys, if I read the rest, because swears, and then the YouTube prudes get mad, right? But either way, oh, man, there's Steve. I forgot to say hi to Steve. Hey, Steve. Good to see you, the Skoglin. What's up, Steven? That's like one of the reasons I want to fly back to the East Coast, just to go hang out with Steve. At some point in time, dude, we're getting there, man. Vaccinations are helping us to get back to like traveling and stuff. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I look forward to it. I look forward to the potential. Ramel says, I apologize for being off topic. No worries, man. Topic is what you guys bring up. If there's stuff to talk about, you guys bring it up. And then there you go. Amcloescent showed up to type in bye. Well, okay, bye-bye. In a month, an envelope with some wire in it will arrive from New Zealand, leading to a confusing moment. Yeah, that would be funny. Carbon is available to terrestrial plants via roots and air. I would think aquatic plants could use their roots as well. They can. Well, oh God, I can't even think of what the name of that process is, but essentially a lot of aquatic plants can pull in nutrients and things via just osmosis, right? I think that's the proper term for it, but I think it's osmotic. Is that osmosis? Was it osmotic respiration? Something like that. Basically, they can absorb things through their skin. If plants had skin, That's basically the easy way to to kind of dumb down the how that operates. But a lot of, especially plants that are converted to aquatic, they can absorb quite a bit through their air quote plant skin, and so plants can do that a lot in the water. I just don't want them to be beholden to that as being the only process that they're able to do things. And root health obviously is an issue, especially with aquatic plants being submerged all the time. They really, they're really in a sort of deficient environment all of the time with just how water interacts with nutrients and things like that. The fact that like CO2 is just like not prevalent underwater. I think it's just plain old tap water or whatever is at like, what is it, 7 parts per million or something like that. My goal is to get it up to about 40 parts per million, kind of hit the 25-ish type range and whatnot. And then our air is at like 400 and something parts per million now. So even if you bump up the CO2, you're still only getting it to about 10% of what our air is normally. So that's oftentimes one of the big restricting factors, and that light is going to be filtered through the water. And to anybody out there that always goes like, well, water doesn't really filter light all that much. That's why the ocean's blue. Go swim down in the ocean and you go like, it's all blue and weird down here. Like, yeah, because the water's being filtered, or the light is being filtered by the water. So if you just want to see it in person, you can just go under some water, get down to a certain depth and then look up at the sun and go like, oh, it's all blue. It's all blue and weird down here. Yeah. So if you need an experiment, if you're of the varietal that says like I have to be able to see it to believe it, well, you could just go look at it yourself and be like, oh, that's what's happening. Or go look at a sunset, because even just the atmosphere is filtering the light. That's why it gets all red during the sunset. Skog says, I can't wait. We'll get together eventually somehow. Yeah, at some point. At some point it'll happen. It's one of those things that, like, I'm not afraid to fly out to the East Coast or whatever, but, like, I'm not traveling until it starts to get back to normal. Because I was looking at, like, even flight costs and stuff like that. They're, like, way higher than they were a while ago. Like I guess before the beginning of last year. I don't know. It's been a long time that the pandemic's been going on, so. It's been over a year since the pandemic had started, because it's May now. It's May 24th. It's almost June. So. Well, I never. Let's see. I'll try to catch up with chat here a little bit. Chat's not going at a crazy rate today, so it's not too difficult to catch up. Alana Suki says, okay, she sent me a text, so no babysitting tonight. Ooh. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not 100% sure on what's up with that. Aquatic Jack says, is it bamboo flooring? No, it is a pretty unique LVT, which, of course, is short for luxury vinyl tile. Is that right? LVT? Yeah, I think that's right. They call it luxury, but it's just like a high-end vinyl snap-together flooring. Like, it's a really new varietal of it. It's a specific pattern that Vicky wanted. It should be fairly simple to put in. It's just going to be easy money to get it in. They're like the biggest pieces also. They're like 16-inch by 4 foot. Something like that. So they'll be pretty easy to get those in, get them put in, and it'll be all good. One of the interesting parts about the flooring is that OSB, so the strand board, the particle board, wherever you guys call it, wherever you're at, was $69 a piece, a sheet. So we actually ended up going with plywood because it was only $45 a sheet, which is insane. But still, our subfloor is plywood instead of particle board, which is kind of wacky. It's insane. It's insane to think that we put sanded plywood down because that was a better option price-wise. Because lumber's just absurd. Like, $69 for particle board is just crazy. I mean, I understand. Like, I appreciate the number itself, right? But that's not the appropriate number. I feel like the decimal point needs to move over one. Should have been like $6.90 a sheet. Yeah. Michael Bublé says, here's the thing, Joel. What if pandemics become a commonality? I mean, I guess that's always a possibility. I mean, you just never... I have no clue what the future will bring. I will just continue to trudge along. And, realistically, like, if there are dangerous pandemics ongoing... if there are pandemics ongoing, then I'm going to err on the side of caution and convenience. The two things, okay? There are two things there. To being cautious to not get a virus that is traveling the world around. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. And it's also going to be ridiculously out of the norm to try and travel while that stuff is going on. So, completely inconvenient. And I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever been 8,000 miles away from your house, I don't know how many kilometers that is. 8,000, let's look, 8,000, oops, that's a 6, 8,000. Oh, dude, what is with this keyboard? 8,000 miles to kilos meters. It's basically 13,000 kilometers. So those of you out there that are worried about doing the conversion, boom. It took way too much time for me to look that up. But it's been done. It's been done for you. So if you're like 13,000 kilometers or 8,000 miles from your house, where you normally would lay down and like go to sleep and whatnot, and you're about having been traveling for like 30, 35 hours or something like that, and you're literally sitting in a city that you've never been in before, your phone doesn't work because your SIM card isn't correct, so you're literally just having to hang out in an airport to try and bounce off of their Wi-Fi, which you had to pay for with a currency that you don't have on you, so that you could try to contact somebody that could help you out to figure out how to get wherever the hell it is that you're trying to go. But the moment that you go outside, you no longer have the Wi-Fi, so you can't really hopefully try to figure out some kind of transit situation to get you in a direction to where you were trying to go. It's very disconcerting. Now, that's during regular times. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation during regular times, but that time would be extraordinarily exacerbated stress-wise when you're trying to do that in a pandemic. You know what I mean? So let's try not to do that. Let's try not to travel during that kind of stuff, and lose our minds. Kate Hartley says, is there a reason why fish would gasp other than lack of O2? Yeah, actually. If there's too much chlorine in the water, if there's too much ammonia in the water, if there is, anything that's toxic to them, a level of toxicity to them, then they will end up gasping. Now, one of the things that, and low oxygen and all that kind of stuff, if you have too much chlorine in the water, you do a giant water change and you end up with if you do a giant water change and maybe your local municipality had an accident at the water plant, like which has happened in my neck of the woods, where somebody upped how much chlorine, or it was on purpose with how much chlorine was being added to the water. But it's not something that they're going to call every single house about because it's not within the danger parameters of humans, right? So let's say the danger parameter for humans is this space in between my hands. Let's say it's 6 inches or something, right? And the danger area for fish is 1 inch, right? Out of that chart. Because when you get over this 1 inch, now the fish will be affected, but humans won't. Well, guess what? The water company has no responsibility to call you and tell you about, oh, hey, our chlorine level is kind of off the charts from what it normally is. You're going to need to dechlor, maybe not do any water change. They're not going to contact anybody and tell them about that because it's not even in their job description, right? Because their job description is, oh, it's too high for humans. We need to contact the humans and tell them what's up. Which happened here. Like one of the fish breeders here was doing his automated water change. He had like a giant system that he just would flip an old valve there, an old ball valve. He just swap the switch the lever. There we go. Flip the lever. Yeah, I like flipping levers. And we do these massive water changes on all of his tanks. Well, all of his fish were freaking out, gasping up at the top because there was a much higher level of chlorine than is normally in the water because somebody at the water plant, maybe there was cryptosporidia or something like that in the water where they needed to jump up that chlorine level into the pipes, or maybe they were trying to flush and decalcify at a certain time of the year. Any of that kind of stuff that the water plant does, you want to kind of pay attention to what's going on. Where I live, we get a water report. We actually have a website that you can go look at, which I infrequently look at. I look at it less frequent than I would recommend. I probably only look at it every once or two, maybe 2 months, maybe even 3 months sometimes. But it's just one of the tabs I have open on my computer that's just like, oh, let me click over here. I'll read the current water report. If they're flushing, that's a good one. If they're flushing fire hydrants, sometimes every year at some point in time, or biannually, or how often they do it in your area, they'll come flush the fire hydrants for, safety of the humans, right? If a house catches on fire, you want the fire hydrant to work. They get filled up with sediment. Those pipes get filled up with sediment because, as I'm sure you've seen in your aquarium, you got a big pipe and the water is slowly moving through it because it's not going fast to every single house. It's slowly feeding all these little branch lines, right? So that water you got a big volume and it's moving slowly and it's under pressure. So whenever a house draws on it, it's just moving it a little bit. It's just kind of flowing by, going kind of slow, right? It's kind of doing its thing. Now, one of the issues with that is that the pipes fill up with tons of sediment over the year. And when they come to flush the pipes, I want you to go out and take a look at it. If you happen to be home, you crack open that fire hydrant, boom, tons and tons of rusty water comes busting out. That's the best way to describe it. It's red, has all this crazy redness to it, and all that sediment just goes busting out of there. And they normally just send it down the storm drain and whatnot, but it does spill out all over the street. Makes the street all red and mineralized and bonkers looking, and it's a whole lot of fun. If you get a chance to go out there and check it out, I recommend it. It's good-hearted. It's good, clean fun. It's good, clean fun, guys. So it's always good times to go out there and have some good, clean fun. Oh, my God. So you could have many, many different things going on that is causing your fish to gasp like that. I would go through and start doing some more testing. Consider doing some more water changes. It sounds like you said you did. Where was it? Kate Hartley. Maybe it was the big water change. So I'm guessing that maybe you did a big water change, and it might have had something to do with what was going on. So I would consider, testing that water, finding out what's going on. I would first and foremost, I would mix up some dechlorinator, add that into the tank, see if you can knock down whatever could have been in there. Dechlorinator's cheap, so who cares? Like, just see if you can't knock down some of the heavy metals that might be in there or whatnot, and see what's going on. But Janice Lundberg with a $20 super chat. Thank you very much, Janice. That is wild. It comes up orange. In this instance, we like the color orange. Thank you very much, Janice. As a remodel fund, it'll almost cover 3 2x4s, which maybe, I literally have 4 extra 10-foot 2x4s, and I almost want to return them just because of how expensive they were. I normally would never do that. I normally don't return lumber. It's not something I normally do. I normally stack it up into my lumber area and make it into stuff later. But just considering how expensive they were, we might just take them back and return them to the store, because it's like, it's a lot. It might be a lot of money, tons of cash, crazy big fancy dinners, stuff like that. So you never really know. James K says the whole story is the reason I love having well water. I guess one of the big reasons I don't necessarily enjoy or like having well water is that I end up having to do all of that water testing that the water department already does. So I think once, I don't know what tab it is. Oh no, it's on my other, I don't know. I'd have to look up the tab. I'd have to look it up. Hold on. Tacoma water. Here it is. Oh, shoot. Here we go. Let's load this up. I don't have it on the right thing. We have to check this out. So we got, okay. So, oh, here we go. The water quality map. So this thing comes up, and they test via, oh man, it's taking a minute to load here. What's it doing? Okay. So this gives you an identified map of all of the water testing that they're doing, in which area, on what date, what's going on in here. And so, like, just in the surrounding area, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's across the water. There are 12 water management areas, or water management points that are testing the water. Now I can go in here and let's see where the hell is that? There's a thing here where I push the button. Maybe it's that. There's like the 3-button thing. So I want to, oh, here we go. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm over here on the wrong thing. But obviously I'm not going to show you guys the map, because it shows you the map around my house, which there may or may not be a marker on this map that shows where my freaking house is. But this gives us water quality for nitrates. Lets you know what's going on for this area. Water quality conductivity. Water quality chlorides. Water quality for arsenic. Water quality intrusion for whether it be salt and whatnot. Then let's see. Let's go over to this one here, which will give us a readout. And then it goes through this whole like spectrum analysis, whether there's magnesium in the water, nitrates in the water, nitrites in the water, blah, 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 blah. It gives you this crazy spectral analysis of everything that's going on in your water quality in all of the areas around you, all the water that's going on. And they're testing this stuff. I mean, I don't know if they're testing it daily, but a lot of the reports on there are from Friday. They're from Saturday. They're from last Wednesday. You know what I mean? So you're going to really have a good idea of what the heck is going on. And the reason that I say well water can be problematic is because well water can be dramatically affected by environmental changes in the area. And why do I say that? Ground seepage is going to be one of the biggest problems that you're going to see. So Wenatchee, Washington, water. So let's go water test. Drinking results. Okay, here we go. So there was I was looking this up because one of the things that I wanted to do is I want to do something in Wenatchee, Washington. Property, blah, 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 whatever. I likely want to move to Wenatchee at some point in time. So I was literally looking up the drinking water quality in Wenatchee. A lot of people are on well water, but the well water is generally going to follow a lot of the water table test results that they're getting. It's going to be similar because a lot of the well water there is what's feeding the drinking water. Most everything there is tapped into the ground. It's wells. It's supplied that way and stuff. Now, to give you a good idea, it's like, is there fluoride? No. Let's see. Let me see here, because I was looking this up. This is the wrong chart. Let me see here. Where's their water quality report? Because that one was just telling us whether or not there was... God, where was that? With the clean water... Yeah, here we go. So they have 8 exceeded EWG health guidelines for 14 total contaminants. So nitrate is 12 times the rate that it's supposed to be at. Currently, it's at 1.67 parts per million. 1.67 parts per million for their drinking water. Legal limit is 10 parts per million, sure. But the health guideline is 0.10 parts per million. So if you're to translate that to your fish tank water test, 1.67 parts per million is off the charts on your damn water test. So that's going to be a problem, but that's what's coming out of the tap. Nitrite is also coming out of the tap at 1.8 parts per million. Problematic for your fish. Triethylamines are pretty high. Trichloroacetic acid, which I always say wrong, hopefully I said that correctly, is 5 times the legal or the healthy limit. There's no legal limit on that one. It doesn't even hit. Chromium is pretty high. Chloroform is high. And I can never say this. Bromodichloromethane. Dichloromethane. I don't know. Kind of close. It's 16 times the amount that it's supposed to be at. And that's just kind of what's coming out of the tap. Now, one of the reasons for that is the agriculture in the area. You get a big rainstorm. You have the constant affect of heavy agriculture in the area. They have barium in the water. They have chromium in the water. They have strontium in the water. They have vanadium in the water. Let's see. Yeah. So one of the big issues is that a lot of this has to do with just the ground seepage of all the agriculture in the area. You get a big rainstorm, you get a this, you get a that, you get all that washout, that rain out that's going to go. And that's going to add into the drinking water, which is generally what you're going to do your water change with. And you really got to test your water. And I don't want to necessarily be the guy who's constantly testing my water all the time, or pre-filtering my water all the time. I used to pre-filter my water all the time, and it becomes costly, it becomes time-consuming, it becomes quite a bit. Yeah. Krager's Fish has got to go. Got to moderate Jay Wilson's live stream. Feel free to stop by Jay's channel after Joel finishes. Use the secret code Krager sent me in the live chat. Oh, what's Jay doing live streams on Mondays now? What's going on there? I love that guy. I hope to see him someday soon. Man, he's always off doing something. He's always doing something. I don't know. I never really know what he's doing, but he's always doing something. He's always like at a fish store or a breeder or something. So, great guy. Hope to see him someday. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah. Skoggs has a good point. Chloroform. Yep. Does this water smell funny to you? Can you smell this rag for me? That's a good. Richard's got a good point. It's problematic for your fish. That's right. Where did my thing go? I lost my window here. Where did it go? Stop reminding me to do updates. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, computer. I don't want to do updates. I want to stay unupdated software-wise. Should probably sit up straight. We're doing a live stream. We're doing a live show here. We've got 58,000 people here hitting the like button, and I should probably sit up straight. Big D Smoke just woke up. Buddy, that's the life. That's the life. Waking up at 4 p.m. I love my guy Big D. I'm gonna be sad when he moves away. But it would be nice to have somebody in town where he's moving to go visit. That'll be good. Whew. James K, so you have a point. I test my water twice a year, but I also have an inline UV sterilizer. Yeah, you want to definitely, if you're on a well, you definitely want to have an inline UV. That's kind of the cheapest passive filtration that you could definitely bring to your well water. I generally would add like at least a mechanical pre-filter and probably something real basic like a large charcoal. Like a large charcoal canister that can grab certain things as flow goes by. I would definitely plumb my drinking water that way, and I would plumb my fish room separately if I was on well water. I would 100% do that. There's just to me personally, there's just really no way around it because you just never really know what's up. Salmolina UK, give us the link, bruh. I don't know to what. For mystery gasping, make sure you have something to break the surface tension, like an air stone or something like that. Yeah, you should definitely be aerating your water in some manner. Regardless of what your fish tank is, you should be aerating your water. Just regardless of what it is. What, more paper towels, ma'am? She's taking off. She's stealing all the paper towels. You guys, there's a crime. There's a crime happening right now. Vicky Tori just stole all of the paper towels, and I don't even know where she's going with them. She's absconded. She's absconded and stole. A crime has just happened. Larceny? Maybe armed robbery? A heist? I don't know. I can't even think of the word. I'm so in shock from being crimed against from the criminal. Oh, shit, the criminal is back. The criminal element has returned. The criminal has stolen all the Ziploc bags. What am I going to do without paper towels and Ziploc bags? It's the crime of the century, folks. The Costco-style size supply of Ziploc bags we had has been criminally stolen by my lovely spouse. I've been robbed. On a Monday, even. Yeah. But that's okay. I'd like to file that police report. Yeah. But I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to... The criminal... Now she's stealing all the rice? Oh, my God. The crimes around here are just out of control. I mean, let's... You know. She just stole... I mean, at least it was only the 25-pound bag of rice. I still got a 50-pounder, so I won't starve, guys. I won't starve to death or nothing. I got my 50-pound bag of rice. At least I could eat some rice, you know. Yeah. And I'll survive. Let's see here. Just landed back home. I gotta say, the only times I've ever gotten really sick as a kid was when I was drinking Grandma's well water. Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, well water's fantastic, and I love that people are able to access that, and it's just something I don't look forward to. That if we ever do move to a property, that I'm gonna have to be testing water like a maniac, filtering water all the time, because there's just not enough protections, in my opinion, in place for the groundwater and what is happening to it. And I just got some alert over here. Oh, I got to pay for milk. I got a milk bill. I got a bill for milk in the mail. You know what I mean? Oh, and I got a bill for Discord. But those automatically paid. So we're good, buds. Did she steal the toilet paper? No, apparently the toilet paper is still stored down here. We don't have a large bathroom. We now have a lot of kitchen storage space, so I think she's filling it up with stuff that is around. And here she comes. The criminal is bringing a car seat in exchange for the paper towels. Vicky's just going wild over here. You guys... You got to understand. She's going wild. She's very excited. Her kitchen has got paint on it. It's no longer stark white or just boards. Just studs. Just studs and hanging wires and sawdust.
72 degrees is too hot in the kitchen.
You set the thermostat to 72?
I boosted it to 72 and I got Olivia up this morning because it was cold.
That's why it's hot in here. Okay. Now I know why.
Well, I canceled that. It is hotter in the kitchen.
Right? The furnace is running right now.
I know. I turned it off.
Oh, it's on its cool down? All right. Yeah, I got hot. I got hot, bro. I got too hot in the hot tub. My ears are getting all red. Yeah. Let's see. Police are trying to figure out what the culprit will be doing with the paper Ziploc bags and... What is that? Oh, the rice. Bowl of rice. That bowl of rice is like very nondescript. It just looks like a weird blob. Yeah. Oh, hey, I got to do the sponsor thing and talk about Amazon for a second. I am an Amazon affiliate. And if you are going to buy stuff through Amazon, go through my influencer link here, and it doesn't change the prices, but it does give me a commission. So if you're going to buy crap through Amazon, just go through that link, and then before you click on any other stuff, buy your Amazon stuff, and then go back to your regular clicking on advertising links on Facebook and stuff like that. You can go in there. I've got a store with curated items that I've posted on there that are generally things that I have used or currently use or buy or have bought. So you could check it out if you like. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Do whatever you want with your life. It's all good, baby. I'm not mad at you. But if you're going to buy stuff from Amazon, I just recommend go through there and then you do a thing. Yeah, and you're good. Is that an ad? Yes. Yeah. Skog Shrimp and stuff is saying, how do I buy you things through Amazon? I don't know. Do I even have like public links up anymore? I mean, I think I do. I don't really think I have anything loaded in there. Let me see. Lists. New wish list. I mean, like I have a wish list, but it is just such bonkers weird stuff these days that like I don't even know. Like I'm just at a point now where like general production cost is kind of like my issue. You know, I've had so many awesome supporters over the years that like you know, I don't really know like what needs to be purchased other than time. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. I'm at the point now where I literally look at equipment that is like, oh, that might like improve my ability to do something, but I don't really like need it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the point where I'm at right now. Like I don't really need stuff other than time. I just need to unoccupy time. And you know, that's just kind of where I'm at now as far as like my my production thing is just like how do I open up time to do stuff, and that's really like kind of where I'm at now. So if people want to sponsor the show, they can. They don't have to buy me anything. It's all good. Steve, you've always been like super generous. Specifically, I mean, I don't know. He's one of the only people that have done the biggest super chat that is allowed. So you know, he's one of the only people that's in the maximum super chat, which was like a week ago or something like that. But a couple of the things that I'm looking at is like a Blackmagic Design makes a live stream switcher, which I've been looking at because I think that would make it a lot easier to like hook up my other camera for guests and then be able to kind of go back and forth and do stuff that I want to do in the future. And then a loop deck is what I'm looking at. It's not a loop deck specifically, but it's the it's this. Let me see if I can't get the link for it. Oh, I have to copy up here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find one on Amazon and paste. Because I want to get back into making loop tracks. Oh my god, there's one here. Oh my god, there's 15 in stock? I don't know. Let me add this to my list. New wish list. Is this one public? Yeah, this one's public. Copy. Is this how you share it? Send list to others. Huh? Oh, here we go. Yeah, here's how you do it. Here's how you do it for Steven. Because Steven, I love you, brother. And there we go. So that's the list, just because since you asked, and there we go. But yeah, I realistically am just at the point now where the biggest issue is getting enough sponsors so that I have time to work on projects. That's basically where I'm at right now, because people hire me for jobs and stuff like that, and I got to take them because it's like, ooh, I'll be able to pay the mortgage for a month. Got to do that, you know, kind of stuff. So that's basically where I'm at right now. Aubrey Wright says, do you have any thoughts on GoPro cameras? GoPro cameras are fantastic. I personally like the hold on a second. Let me see if I can't find a link for you. So Osmo Action Cam. This is the camera that I excuse me. I prefer this camera right here. It's the Osmo Action. I 100 Salmalina UK. If you just look up whatever area you're in, the water quality test map, and depending on who you're with, so you could just look up Washington State water quality test map, and you'll be able to get that. Just look it up through Google. It'll be very simple, and then there you'll just find the links there and click through them, and you can do that. Like I said, I'm not going to share the map with you because it has my house highlighted on the map here, and I don't know if that gets shared that way, so I'm not going to do that. Just to be honest with you. But yeah, you can just Google search like Western Washington water quality map deal, and you'll get some links. Click through them, and then you can find the water test charts and stuff. And there is a I'll have to find it for Friday's show, but there is a nonprofit organization that does water testing results in the areas and in all around the world, and even locally here in Washington. And they post their results. They post their results public so that people can basically go like, hey, wait a minute, these guys are independently testing. Let's see what the results are that our local municipality is posting up, and then you could check on it from there and do that. But I'm not sure the name of it, so I'll have to look up. I'm sure it's in my links somewhere, bookmarked, but I don't know where that is right now. So I'll have to look at it when I'm not streaming. But GoPro cameras are fantastic, but I prefer the Osmo Action myself. I just find them a lot easier to utilize. And at $200 versus whatever the new GoPro costs, I think the new GoPro is like $499 or something like that. I think. What's the newest GoPro cost? Let's just do a quick search here. GoPro Hero 9. 9? Yeah, so the GoPro Hero 9 is $429. $400. It might be like a little bit more of a camera, but at twice the price, it might not be worthwhile. But I'm going to be honest with you. The GoPro 9 generally seems to do pretty much everything that anybody could want it to do. They work fantastically underwater. Both of them work fantastically underwater. I wouldn't go more than 10 feet deep with them. I've used my Osmo Actions a bunch of times just statically underwater, which means I just clamp them somewhere underwater and film whatever's going on under there. And they've worked great for me. I haven't used the GoPro 9 myself, but I've used like the GoPro 8 and 7, and I had like the GoPro 2, I think, and then I don't know. I don't know which ones I've owned, but I ended up getting rid of all the GoPros because I didn't really like them, and I went with the Osmo stuff because I just find that like DJI worked a lot better for me, like in my workflow and stuff like that. So, but I do highly recommend people getting an action camera before you get any other kind of camera. If you're going to get a big film camera or a big photo camera or any of that kind of stuff, 100% recommend people get an action camera first, whether it's a GoPro or an Osmo or whatever other brand you want to get. That's definitely the first camera you should get. They don't shoot fisheye anymore. You can actually have them just shoot a flat profile image. So, and if it's something that you're going to do a lot, you will find out if you're going to do it a lot that way. If you find yourself filming stuff with your GoPro all the time, making little videos doing this, or just saving all the videos so that you have like home videos for later in life, if you find yourself doing it a lot, you're probably going to continue doing it. And then it might be time to invest in something more expensive. But the reason why I say the Osmo, $200 is just not really a lot to invest. You do need to get like the little audio adapter, which is $25, and a couple other miscellaneous things, but they're pretty much just good to go. Like, so you could do that, or do the GoPro, which is just significantly more expensive and whatnot. So yeah. That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on that. Off the cuff. Yeah. Let's see. All right. So we checked our email. We checked out what was going on. All right, boys and girls. I have to load out my tools for work tomorrow. And I got to pick up Olivia at 5 o'clock, which means I got 45 minutes to get that done. And I want to thank everybody for coming out today. How many likes did we get? 41. That's probably not enough likes. We have to find some more likes somewhere. I don't know where we're going to get them. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to become a patron, to become a member or whatever, or any of that stuff. I don't know. Do whatever you got to do. And just get wild with it. And thank you, everybody, for coming out. That's it.